Hey mate, it's just Will Charlton here. Just from Wagga. Just recently bought a property. I'm not from the area. I heard you're a local agronomist and could give us a hand.
G'day Will, congrats on your new purchase. Just wondering what sort of soil types you got there.
Yeah, no, I just got some soil testing done before I bought the property, and they said it was a silty clay Candasoil soil type, which is fairly acidic.
Yeah, no worries mate, that sounds good. I'll probably got a bit of free time this afternoon. I can come out to your farm and meet you if you want. I'll get up. You too. Aaron here. I'm just at a property in Wagga Wagga with new farmer to the area, Will Charlton. He's just got some fairly acidic pH soils, and I'm just wondering, you've done a bit of research in the area, what we might be able to do to fix that. So yeah.
Yeah, good day, mate. I've done a bit of research into that area because it's a pretty common problem in that region. The best way to go about it would be applying a bit of lime to your soil just to increase the pH. To start off, you're best just doing rotational pastures before you start putting in your perennials, as lime's best applied at sowing time. And once you have applied your lime and increased the pH, you'll be able to start growing perennial pastures, and they'll be a lot better quality. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, thanks for that, Lockie. That's a real help. I might pass that information on to Will, and I'll also pass on the details of the local livestock advisor. And once he sorts out what sort of system he's going to get going, I'll start setting up a pasture plan and see what it looks like in the few years to come. Cheers.
Will Charlton here. Just bought a property at Wagga Wagga here. I've been put onto you by Aaron Nitschke, the local agronomist. Said you're a livestock advisor, so I thought I'd give you a buzz. I'm looking to run 100% pasture, and I've got some cattle and sheep, so just
Hey, going, Farmer Will. I just got a missed call from you. I'm in the office today, not a very big one, but yeah. So I see we're going to have some livestock, so I'd advise in that area to calve and lamb around the spring flush, as the pasture is going to be the best during this time. Although there is steady rainfall throughout the year, so when you get your lucerne, this won't be as dramatic, but we still need to calve around then to meet the energy requirements. We're going to need a supplementary feed the cows and lactating ewes around this time to meet the energy requirements, as they can be 3 times as much as dry weather. So we're going to introduce some supplementary feed here. Grain's our best bet, but we're going to need to do this slowly just to reduce the chance of reduce the risk of bloat. We're going to have roughage, some types of roughage in the diet, so we're going to need oat and hay, or the pasture could do this, but we're still going to need some dry roughage, so the oat and hay does this nicely.
no worries, mate. Cheers for your help. Catch ya.
Well, good to see you got onto Darcy. You got your livestock program sorted out. We've got a bit of background information from Lockie and Darcy. I think it would be good if you got into the office, and we might sort out a bit of a pasture program, running through some different things you can get growing just to get those sheep and cattle just looking good.
Yeah, no worries. Sounds good.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, Will. Yeah, right. So I've done a bit of research what we can grow. I think a few grasses in the pasture. I reckon perennial ryegrass and phalaris. There'll be some good grasses. Combination with them and some Persian clover, barometric, burmetic, that sort of thing would be looking pretty good. And then I think we look to, after the first couple of years, once we get that pH problem sorted, I think we look to put in some lucerne stands. I think they'll give us some really good feed over summer and just fill that gap, turn off some good stock after that. So yeah, ryegrass, when you're sowing it, I think we're looking at 15 to 25 kilos a hectare here.
Yeah.
Probably looking for some phosphorus, potassium and nitrogen fertilisers with that going out, as well as your lime application. Folaria is probably not as high, so 10 kilos a hectare, similar fertilisers. You sort of mix them in with your Persian clover and your medics, yeah, so they probably 10 to 15 kilos a hectare will see them sorted, and yeah, they probably really only need the phosphorus and potassium. So yeah, that's probably pastures we'll grow. When we get your lucerne stand in, we'll probably be looking 10 to 15 kilos per hectare for the lucerne, and then yeah, heavy on the phosphorus and potassium for that. And then yeah, throughout the year on those grassy pastures, we're probably looking to a few nitrogen applications, some urea or superphosphate. Yeah, so on those grassy pastures, yeah, with a bit of medics and clovers mixed in, we're probably looking to put out some nitrogen just to keep them boosted up.
Yeah.
Probably a good time would be before spring flush, and maybe even a hit before the winter, just to get some good sort of opening rains in autumn, bit of growth before it gets too cold in the winter. So yeah, urea probably, depending on what the bank balance is looking like, probably 80 kilos per hectare up to 120 kilos per hectare will be good on those pastures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so with your clovers and your medics, so they're obviously legumes. Important source to put some nitrogen back into the soil. So they'll need inoculating before you sow them. So Persian clover, you're looking at some Rhizobium leguminosarum.
Yeah.
So that's a bacteria that you need to put out with that. Your medics, they're Cynorhizobium, and then depending what you're looking at getting for your barrel medic, you're probably looking at Medicae.
Yeah.
And for burr medics, probably Melilodi. And that's also the same with your lucerne. So Cynorhizobium melilodi, that's good inoculant. That'll get those root nodules forming really well. Should get some good nitrogen putting back into the soil.
Oh, sounds good.
Probably if things get a bit out of hand, we'll probably have to revert back to renovating the pastures, and we might have to start again with those perennials. But other than that, I think if we can manage our rotational grazing and yeah, keep those plants as a good growth stage, we should be able to outcompete the weeds, and we shouldn't have too much of a problem there.
Oh, it all looks good.
Yeah, and then probably insecticides, probably a few mites, red-legged earth mite, lucerne flea. They're probably our biggest issues. Probably not something huge in our pasture system, but yeah, constant monitoring, and we'll play that as it goes. As you can see, we've put together a pretty good pasture system for you. I think while we're renovating that soil pH, we should be able to get some good income early on with some of those perennial pastures we're putting together. Even though they might only be 1 or 2 years, I think we should get some good growth. And yeah, you should be able to run on a profitable system right from the start. Then yeah, obviously once we get that problem sorted, we get that lucerne stand growing, and you should be set up for years to come. So yeah, thanks for coming in today, Will.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, no, I'll come over for dinner sometime, and
I'll cook
meet
you
the
up
family and